Morning, Abotai. Erev Shabbat Shalom. There's an interesting discussion among the poskim about reciting Birkat Halevana on Shabbat, which may be relevant tonight. So listen very carefully. There's a Rama in Siman Tav Kavav Saif Bet that quotes from Maharil. Maharil was one of the foremost poskei Ashkenaz, Rabbeinu Yaakov Molin, who says that a person should not, although the minhag is to say Birkat Halevana on Motzei Shabbat, but when Yom Tov coincides with Motzei Shabbat, a person should not say Birkat Halevana on Yom Tov. The Maharin says the reason for that is because there's like a Kabbalistic concept. Just like there are tchumim, which are halachic boundaries down here, there are also tchumim in the Shamayim. And therefore it is inappropriate to be Mekadesh, to do Birkat Halevana, and sanctify HaKadosh Baruch Hu outside of the tchum, which is forbidden on Yom Tov. There are other reasons as well. He says that there's another reason because it's like saying tchinot. It's like saying all sorts of supplications and prayers that a person should not on Yom Tov. And also one more reason, according to Kabbalah, because when we say Birkat Halevana, we uplift Midat HaMalchut, which is one of the Kabbalistic Midot, one of the attributes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when we don't need to do that on Yom Tov because it's already lifted on its own through the Kedusha of Yom Tov. Agaon Kaf HaChaim says that if these reasons apply on Yom Tov not to say Birkat Halevana on Yom Tov, certainly on Shabbat, a person should preferably not say Birkat Halevana, and there are even more Kabbalistic reasons brought down by Rama Amipano, Rabbeinu Menachem Rekanati, and others not to say Birkat Halevana on Shabbat. However, Agaon Kaf HaChaim and many other poskim, the Maharil himself also says that when there's reason, for instance, let's say it's in the winter, and you don't know the next time the moon is going to be visible, and you see it on Lil Shabbat, the halacha is, whether it's Lil Shabbat, Lil Yom Tov, it doesn't matter, you say Birkat Halevana. And therefore, la halacha u'ma'aseh rabotai, tomorrow night, Motzei Shabbat, is the 15th of Tevet. Tomorrow night is the last night, at least for Sfaradim, to recite Birkat Halevana. If you don't get it by tomorrow night, it's over, you cannot say it b'shem u'malchut. Tomorrow night, the forecast is supposed to be cloudy, maybe rain, maybe snow. Therefore, tonight may be the last clear night that you see the Levana. And therefore, for those who have not yet recited Birkat Halevana, it is absolutely permissible under the circumstances to recite Birkat Halevana tonight after Arvit. On Shabbat, now not only biyachid, even b'tzibur, let's say there's an entire tzibur that didn't say Birkat Halevana, it is permissible to say Birkat Halevana even on Shabbat, under the circumstances, even b'tzibur. However, you have to be careful. If you want to carry out sidurim or Birkat Halevana cards, you have to make sure you're in a place with an eruv. If you're in a place without an eruv, you better make sure that you know the bracha by heart, because you're not allowed to carry just in order to say Birkat Halevana. Very similar to what I said last week about shoveling snow. Even though technically shoveling snow is mutar, it goes without saying that you can't do that in a place without an eruv. So these are things that are important to note about tonight. So once again, if you haven't said Birkat Halevana and the moon is shining tonight, absolutely do not wait and say it tonight, even on Leil Shabbat Kodesh. Have a wonderful day and Shabbat Shalom Vorach. The minyan for Kabbalat Shabbat and Arvit this evening will be at 4:20.